They are banking on your jingoistic patriotism to kick ass. I took a lot of time to reflect this weekend after hearing and learning about the illegal war with Iran and what's unfolding since our strike. After serving 2 combat deployments in Afghanistan, I'm finding it hard to reconcile my disbelief at the situation our president has created and the justification for it. And I keep thinking about how this is going to impact my children and your children's futures. Here's what I think. Every veteran in the United States should be standing up right now and saying, hell no. No war with Iran. No new wars. Because here's what we know about this war with Iran. Baron Trump won't be enlisting. You see, politicians like Trump and Hegseth are very comfortable telling you about the threats because it furthers their agenda to enrich themselves, to protect the wealthy, and consolidate power. They want to send our men and women to war because that's what so-called peace through strength is. Fighting wars in places where there isn't one because of some imminent existential threat to the home front. They are banking on your jingoistic patriotism to kick ass and take names when you see the bombs start falling and the tanks rolling. They're looking forward to the anti-Islamic backlash that some Americans will spew in support of what they believe is a righteous religious obligation to attack Muslims. But in reality, Trump doesn't give a shit about the military, our veterans, or working people, or even your religion. He thinks of us and our belief systems as props and tools, a means to an end, a necessary sacrifice, just levers to be pulled in order to get support. Here's a reminder. Donald Trump dodged the draft and ordered a fucking military parade in Washington, D.C. just to stroke his ego. His VA is actively trying to cut our benefits and deny compensation to us. And he filmed a fucking campaign video at Arlington National Cemetery in which a worker was assaulted for protecting the sanctity of our nation's fallen heroes' final resting place. Let's talk about our military families in this moment, right now, because I want you to think about this. Across the United States and abroad, military families right now are on edge. Entire combat battalions, hundreds and maybe thousands of young men and women are likely on standby to deploy anywhere in the world to be in combat within 18 hours. This means no weekend passes, no leave approved, stay within a certain radius of your base, and don't get drunk. So people rush plans. They get married quicker than they want. They tie up loose ends. There's long days at work going over inventory and weapons, getting sensitive items issued like NVGs, dental appointments and inoculations against some diseases you've never even heard of. They get powers of attorney, answer questions about next of kin. Questions like, how do you want to be buried? Any special accommodations you'd like for your funeral? Do you have a family support plan? Let the commander see it. Are your benefits updated and how much do you want to allocate and to who? These are the daily tasks and conversations being had right now with our military families. Entire cities, like where I grew up in Clarksville, Tennessee, will be on edge, waiting to find out where's the 5th Special Forces Group going to be deploying and how many troops from the 101st will be deployed and what does that mean for this town? Every combat unit and logistics unit in our armed forces are spinning up to meet the enemy and complete whatever mission they are assigned. And folks, we owe our service members so much better than this. They deserve better for being willing to die for this country and our government's decisions and actions. And it is to that point that our military deserves the best leadership and guidance for being the best and always answering the call. Not this toddler, sycophant, failed negotiator, and sexual abuser that they have now in Donald Trump. With that in mind, I say this country can no longer be willing to accept the word of a president and his cabinet and his biggest supporters as justification for a prolonged military conflict. After being lied to over and over again about war, from Vietnam to today's war with Iran, we have been lied to about every war since World War II in one way or another. We are constantly being lied to about the threats to our country and why working class folks have to die for their lies. Lies built to justify the suffering that will come. Lies about weapons of mass destruction. Lies about the threat of communism. And today, lies about radical Islam and their nuclear capabilities that we were being told were obliterated in the previous illegal strike. Folks, we know where the threat from our country is coming from. This administration is the greatest threat to our nation. And they think that you're too stupid to know better or too scared to stand up against it. Well, we do know better, and we must stand together against it. And that's why this campaign and my candidacy is committed to taking back the power of Congress, to check the executive branch and return war powers to Congress. I support Rep. Ro Khanna, a House progressive, and Thomas Massie, a House Republican, and passing a war powers resolution that curtails the abuses of military power that we have seen since 1973. I would vote for that today. and every day I can, because rogue and unchecked executive branch and a weak Congress happy to give up power for optics is how we got here. We need leaders who give a damn, who know what is at stake, and who have the courage to stand up and aggressively fight this regime at every moment, at every turn, no backing down. And I'm once again demanding that Congress grow a spine and impeach this president for this or any one of his alleged crimes against our country. There is no greater threat to our country than Donald Trump and his agenda. We all need to recognize that by holding him and his administration accountable now. Or when I get to Congress, I guarantee you that we will.